Ottawa has announced $82 billion in emergency assistance for Canadians and Canadian businesses hit hard by the global pandemic of COVID-19. We're joined this morning by Federal Finance Minister Bill Morneau. Welcome back to your morning.
I'm pleased to be with you this morning. Thanks for having me.
I know you have a very busy day, so we appreciate you taking the time. For a lot of Canadians, rent or mortgages are due in the next 2 weeks. Companies are starting to lay people off. How fast will this money be distributed?
The answer that I can give people is as fast as we can humanly do it. We of course, wanted to make sure that we could find measures that would help people directly, rapidly, and that was really very much of a consideration as we decided on how to move forward. The key thing for us to say to Canadians is we know that those that are most at risk from being sick, being quarantined, or not being able to go to work and therefore not actually getting paid if that's their situation, those were the people we focused on how we can make sure that they can get enough money for essentials, for rent and food and medicines, and how we could deliver it rapidly. So that's what we're working on right now, 24/7.
All right, well, they are hopeful it is going to be able to get here sooner rather than later. That aid package announced includes money for Canadian families, people in a situation like you mentioned that either may not be getting EI, people who have to stay home because daycares or schools are closed. How can people apply for the aid?
We're making sure that we use, as best as we can, existing administrative approaches that Ottawa has developed over years and decades. So for the programs that we're putting in place, the programs for people who don't currently get employment insurance, they're going to be able to go online to the Canada Revenue Agency to have a simple form to show that they're in the category that they don't have access to employment insurance, and then get the payment immediately. What we need to do in order to make this happen is we need to put forth legislation. We need to put forth legislation which we are working on overnight, and that will enable us to actually have the flow of funds. So the administration work is starting. We hope that that will be enabling us within 2 to 3 weeks to make sure that this is happening. And I can assure you that we are going to continue to think about how we support people in a time of particular need for so many Canadians.
Minister, just so that I can give people a bit of a timeline or a time framework, are you saying 2 to 3 weeks until the website is up and running for them to apply?
What I want people to know is that we are working to get exact timelines as rapidly as possible. So we've literally announced these material changes yesterday. We're working through exactly when the website will be up, exactly when we can actually start that administration right now. We will make sure that people have more details just as soon as we have them. But I think you'll see that what we've been focused on is making sure that we can get the funds required to get out to people, and I hope people will be patient as we roll out the information literally in the days to come. That's what we're working on today.
The U.S. is said to be looking at sending out checks, some people calling it COVID cash, of $1,000 to every citizen. Are you considering a broader payout at this point like this for every Canadian?
Well, I think we need to think about what we're trying to achieve here. We're very much focused on thinking about those people who are impacted, who don't have access to employment insurance, for example. That's clearly an area of challenge. People who, for reasons that are due to sickness, just can't go to work or have to be staying at home. So that's where we're focused. And in Canada, we're fortunate. We have a strong social security system that's been built up over generations that allows us to actually find ways to do that. So that is the first and most important thing we need to do. Deal with the challenge that people in many cases are facing now or will be facing very soon. We're not going to rule out anything. We're not going to rule out next steps, but importantly, what we need to think about now is that people in many cases are, I hope, isolating themselves at home, are needing to make sure they can afford the things that they need to keep their life going. And we're going to be there to support them. We need to do that in a way that targets those with the challenges in the most rapid approach possible.
Minister, you know this is as well as I do. People are at home right now and they've got time on their hands and they're trying to plan. And one of those things in planning is how long will this money that could be coming to them from your government, how much time will it cover? You know, we listen to the health updates every day from the health minister saying we are looking at months of this. So will that money coming to them cover weeks, months, several months?
What we announced yesterday was 2 new programs. So one program is really about emergency support for those that are quarantined who are sick. And that program for people, again, who aren't in the employment insurance system is mirrored on the employment insurance system. So it's 15 weeks of support at $450 per week. So that's what we've put in place for that.
Thanks for watching. If you like this, be sure to subscribe here.
And you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.